My name is Algen, and this is my TSi. I checked out the Icon A5. I thought that was pretty dope. I stay in Florida, so I like the jet plane kind of combination. That pushed me, when they released that pushed me to go get my pilot's license because I was pretty much determined to get that plane. However, life changes and my needs changed, and I started doing research for a plane that fit my mission a lot better. In doing so, all roads pretty much led to the Sling TSi. I checked out Cirrus and Bonanzas and a lot of other stuff, and just for where I was at, as a pilot, my skill level, as well as what I really require as a pilot, as far as, I wanted modern glass and I wanted a modern plane. I definitely wanted a parachute. So I ended up with the Sling TSi. So I came out, I went and saw it at Sun and Fun, and I came out to California and I talked with the sales director, and we put stuff together. I ordered the kit. I ordered the kit in October of 2018. It arrived in, I think, roughly maybe like February of 2019, and I opted for the Builder Assist program. That took about 8 months in total to get it to where it is now, to a flying machine. And it was a dope experience. I got to select and customize everything that I wanted in the plane, which was very important to me. So, I got to choose my interior, I got to choose my paint scheme. I got to put my logo on the back. So this is also my company plane as well as my, personal. So there will be a mixture there. So with the Build Assist program, they make it very simple. You come in and you pretty much have a goal. You're trying to get a certain part completed by, for the day. And they kind of give you instructions on how it should be done. Make sure you're not making any mistakes. If I had any questions, it was easy to ask somebody, hey, am I doing this the right way? Again, with me not growing up around planes and not, automatically being able to look at a plane and dissect the parts and say, hey, that's the fuselage and all that, something I had to learn. I thought it was best that I did it here at the factory to do like the Build Assist kit. So I would basically fly in from Florida and come up here and, they say, hey, Al, let's get this, that, and that done. And I would plug and chug at it. It was a dope way to learn how the plane worked, how everything is connected, how what materials are used. Like every time I looked at the plane, I always thought that certain parts, I had a expectation of how the parts worked or how they were constructed. And when you get a chance to build it, you either get to confirm that expectation, or you kind of see, oh, okay, I was wrong and it works this way. So it was a very cool process. It was eye-opening, to say the least, and you basically are very intimate with your machine because you know how it was built. You got to see the entire process. So it was dope. I would definitely do it again. Justifying the purchase was easy. I do a lot of traveling, and we miss a lot of flights. Like we fly commercial and private, and you miss a lot of flights. So it was an easy sell to my fiance. It was probably a little bit harder to sell like to my mom and parents, but after I told them I had a parachute, I've been going to training, and I think after they saw that part, they felt comfortable knowing, hey, okay, it seems like you're in a safe plane. When I showed them my options as far as your older planes, your more legacy planes versus this, they were also a lot more comfortable because of the parachute, and it was brand new versus something that had thousands of hours on it. So while I know that is the norm in the aviation community, everyone, including myself, I just felt a lot safer going to something that was more on the newer side. I know experimental, that word sounds scary when you're talking about flying a plane, and I'm sure it does have its challenges that I may have not experienced yet, but so far, man, I feel very safe in the plane, so that's a big plus. Due to the amount of traveling that I do, so staying in Jacksonville, I have a warehouse in Miami for my cognac business for Vente. I have to go back and forth to Miami a lot. I also have to go see a lot of different store owners, in Florida and Georgia and a couple other states. So it's one of those things where it's going to kind of serve my purpose very well, and I'm going to be able to get there and do 2 to 3 meetings in a day sometimes. So some of my friends thought I was crazy for flying and trying to fly. Even when I was looking at, mosquitoes and ultralights back in the day, they were kind of like, yeah, you tripping. So you know, I still wanted to pursue it. The area I grew up in, man, I think it's, you know, like most urban areas, you know, you don't see a lot of aviation related anything. My transition, I guess, for me to get from where I grew up to being able to own and fly a plane. I'm an entrepreneur. My mom raised me and my siblings to all be entrepreneurs. So, you know, ever since I was younger, I've, you know, started businesses, and I've always found a way to create solutions for problems and sell those solutions. So, you know, I obviously sold enough solutions to get here. And it's like I said, it was a form of freedom for me, and I wanted to be able to get up when I wanted to and fly and get to where I wanted to go whenever that may be, and that's what the plane represented for me. I own a cognac brand, and the brand name is Revente, and Revente means your way. So what I realized, you know, going out and having a good time, you either drink a white liquor or a brown liquor, and I enjoyed brown liquors, and I noticed that they didn't have any that were tailored to the way that I saw a lot of people drinking them. Cognac is a very traditional drink. It's usually sipped, and it's usually a wintertime drink. But for instance, in the state of Florida, it's never really wintertime, and there's a lot of cognac drinkers, and they do a lot of mixing. So I took that, I kind of saw that as a problem, an issue, and something that needed a solution. So I went out and I basically partnered up with a distillery in France, Cognac France, and we put together a blend that fit the modern day cognac drinker. And that's why it's Revente your way, because you can drink it how you want to. A lot of people do things that, you know, if a classic bartender saw them do with cognac, they would probably have a heart attack. But, you know, that's what it's about. I think you spend your money on your drink, you should be able to enjoy it, you know, whatever way you want. My initial flight in the Sling was, it was short. It was probably like a 15-20 minute flight. But that was all I kind of needed to see, you know, to kind of, you know, figure out if that was a good fit for me or not. And one thing I kept thinking over and over is like, man, this feels like cheating. And the more I fly it, I think the more concrete that feeling is. Just kind of, it feels like cheating, man. It's very stable. You know, there's no real workload, and you know, in the trainer that I fly in, you know, it's not a whole lot of workload, but there's still a more workload than it is in here. When you get up here, man, it's just like, you know, you flip a couple of switches and everything is pretty much automatic and it's handled. So you have more time to enjoy the scenery. You also have more time to kind of look around, check for traffic, you know, double check your checklist, all that type of stuff. You have more time on your hands because you're not working as hard, and then that's, I guess, is why I feel like it's cheating. I flew with Jean a couple of times, man, and he really knows how to handle the plane. And I had some concerns as far as, you know, how the plane will hold up during some of those type of maneuvers. You know, I was just thinking very straight and level, and you know, he flies pretty sporty, so you get to see that the plane can handle that, and it's, you know, it actually almost kind of encourages that. It's a very sporty plane, so that was cool. It has definitely met my expectations. It's an easy flyer, you know. It's very easy, very simple, and it's modern, and that's, you know, that's definitely my stilo. So I've enjoyed that. Having this plane is another form of freedom for me, man. I do a lot of hobbies, boating, and you know, jet, all type of stuff. And this is, I think, in form of transportation, it's a way for me to do more things in my own time, which is something I'm very big on. As a business owner, you realize at some point that your time is worth more than the money, and when you can save time and enjoy the process while you're saving time, I think that's major. And like I said before, man, I'm not very big on waking up 3 hours early to catch the plane and go through the process with TSA. I much prefer the experience that you get when you get to land at a general aviation airport. and go about your business and get back home. I think that time is a lot more important. I think those 3-4 hours could be spent a lot better. So for me, it's freedom. It's the opportunity to go where I want to go whenever I want to get there, and come back when I want to. It just gives me that much more flexibility in my schedule and in my life. So my advice to anyone who would, who dreams of owning a plane or living a lifestyle where they have freedom as their main priority, honestly, it would be two things. It would be to read. It would be to read a lot. A lot of things that I've been able to do have come from being able to learn what other people have put in the book. So instead of me reinventing the wheel, instead of me, being stuck in a certain mindset, I've been able to have a very flexible mindset to change the way that I view a lot of what people would call problems and situations. I've been able to solve a lot of those because I read, and I'm able to I guess convert what I've read into like actionable items and follow through. And the other would be to figure out what you really love. Like, what do you really like to do, and go for it, because entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. Some people are like meant to do the job that they do. So I say try a lot of stuff, try a lot of things, and don't make money your focus. I don't think that we get caught up on affordability and the numbers, but when you kind of find your niche and you find what you're supposed to do, and you find the things that make you happy and what your strengths are, the money comes. Like I would always advise someone to, if you're making a business plan or if you're going into a career for the money, I would definitely advise against it. It should be to help someone and to bring a benefit to whatever problem that you're kind of attacking.